Alright, boys, we are back, and it's time to finish off year 3 and head into year 4. It's time for the offseason, baby. But year 3 was a great year for the Washington Capitals. We finally did it. With Alexander Ovechkin, we won the Stanley Cup, and it only took us 3 years, so pretty good. We have at least 3 years left. We got a big offseason this time, so our journey is only half complete, alright? But it was a good playoff run. Pretty dominating as well, except for this Game 7 finals. But we should have had it. We were up 3-1, but they came back, alright? So in this video, I want to try and get the draft done, the re-sign stage done. We'll get it up to the free agency just so you guys can see who's available. All right, but this is going to be a very important offseason. Yeah. They want to give me another contract. Of course, why not? I got Ovi the Stanley Cup, baby. All right, so during this offseason, basically the big question mark has to be Pavel Datsyuk, all right? I don't need to do any more scouting. Has to be Pavel Datsyuk because, you know, he's going to be getting older. He may retire, he may not. I'm hoping he doesn't because we've signed him for a long term, so I can either trade him or use him again for next year, all right? I was asking you guys in the last video what we should do. Should we kind of trade? Oh, should I turn off the injuries? Yeah, I should turn off the injuries. Hang on. You know what? There's no more games. I'll do it in the offseason. I'll do it in the free agency or re-sign stage. But with Datsyuk, right? Say he's 88 overall or better. I don't know. I might want to hold on to him. He might be the kind of player I want to hold on to until he retires. He's going to retire any year now. It may be this year. But again, we won the Stanley Cup because of Pavel Datsyuk. You know, it was a lot of other players as well, but Pavel Datsyuk was, you know, that rock at center that, you know, during the regular season, he didn't necessarily have a point-a-game. Actually, I know what? I think I take that back. I think Datsyuk was the only point-a-game player. But in the playoffs, you know, Klein had a great playoff run, but I know penalty kill Datsyuk was out there. He wasn't taking penalties, so you know he was always killing those penalties. And he was, our first line just basically won us the Stanley Cup. So, you know, I would like to keep Pavel Datsyuk for one more year if we can afford it, but that's a big if. That is a big if. All right, so hang on. Let's just get this done. Retirements. All right, let's see who retires. Zdeno Chara's gone. Scott Gomez, you heard he got bought out. About time. Go down here. Pronger. Yep. Commissaric, thank God. Washington. All right, so we didn't lose Datsyuk. We lost Matt Hendricks, but at least he gets to go out with the Stanley Cup ring. All right, and Kiprusoff, and we lost Brendan Anderson. I don't know who that guy is. Probably just an older guy in our AHL team, but Kiprusoff is gone, all right? So we didn't lose Pavel Datsyuk, so we got to figure out what we're going to do with him. But before we do that, let's check out his overall still. Ralph Upshaw, Brendan Shea, all right, I'll remember those names. We do have draft picks this year, but we won the Stanley Cup, so it's like the 30th overall pick. So I do want to use it because we are lacking some forward prospects, but I don't expect it to be an amazing player who's going to be able to be a first or second liner by year 6. That's not going to happen. We have our team, all right? So let's go into GM options first. Let's just check out the scouting report of these players that are coming up in the draft. You got Charlie Fletcher, who's a center, two-way forward, 4.5-star player. Pretty good, but I don't see myself getting my hands on that player. And he's 20 years old, so he's probably mid-70s already. He's probably ready to go, which wouldn't be bad. Let's see, can I check his stats out? Yeah. And look, there's like mid-70s, some 80s in there. Yeah, he's definitely like a mid-70 two-way forward. He would be ready to go by year 6, but I'm not trading up in the draft. There's no way I'll be able to do that, all right? So there's really only one 4.5-star player. So unless I get the first pick, I'm pretty much going to be getting a 3.5-star player with my first pick. Yeah, maybe even not. All right, let's see if there's any goalies. Just a few. Again, so it looks like it's kind of a weak draft this year. There's plenty of players, but only one 4.5-star player, all right? So next, let's check out our contracts because all the players have gotten better. Let's see how Norbert Klein has progressed. This should be interesting, all right? So Norbert Klein, 88 overall. Hope he dropped to an 84, all right? That's only because he didn't play at all during the playoffs, but don't worry, he's still a good backup goalie, all right? But Norbert Klein, I think we know who we're going into the future with now. Norbert Klein, 88 overall, 22 years old. All right. Look at that reflexes category. 90s, high 80s. Puck control category, his poise could be a bit better, but he just won us the Stanley Cup. So, I mean, I know he can do it again, and he's only going to get better. All right. So Norbert Klein is definitely somebody who we want to use now, but how many more years? One more year, so I got to sign him next year. Not this year, next year, and he's going to want a lot, at least like $6 million, I'm guessing, all right? So that's going to be a big contract to sign next year, so we got to look at that. So maybe we can hold on to Holtby for one more year as a backup until we have to sign Norbert Klein the next year, basically, all right? But Holtby is somebody that I know I can trade away if we need to dump salary, all right? I will remember that. Defenseman. Let's see here. So Eric Johnson, John Carlson jumped up to an 87. Look at that. Alsner 86 and Jake Gardiner dropped down to an 86. Don't worry about that. That's like 1 or 2 overalls that are dropping down 1, and it's enough just to break them down. I'll show you his individual stats. The thing that makes Jake Gardiner a weak player is his shooting accuracy. If those were in the mid-80s, he'd be up there. But those accuracy, his slap shot accuracy and wrist shot accuracy really drag him down for overall-wise. But he's still a great player, all right? So I'm going to hold on to Jake Gardiner, obviously. John Carlson, though, 87 overall. I still have these top 4 defensemen for another one year, basically. Alsner for another 1 year, and then I got to re-sign him, all right? So at least we have Carlson for another 3 years, it looks like. So that is good. All right, just seeing if there's any defensemen I have to re-sign this year. I'm going to have to sign Jeff Schultz, but he should be easy enough to sign. Josh Morrissey, he looks like he's ready to take over for Mark Stewart, or maybe not. Maybe he should still play on the the minors, basically. Because remember, we did win the Stanley Cup, so we have what we need. But, man, look at that offensive category. Shooting is decent. Well, it's better than decent, but puck skills is outstanding. His puck control is 98, and his passing is already 90. Defensive awareness is 84, so it's decent. Offensive awareness, 82. So maybe he should get the shot next year, all right? I'll leave that to you guys. We have to sign Jeff Schultz and Stewart so we can save some money there because Morrissey's already under contract for another 2 years after this, all right? Hillen we got to sign, but those are our backup players. We can sign all those guys in the offseason, all right? Thrower, he's getting better. All right, so there you go. There's our defenseman. So it looks like it's going to be the same defensive core going into next year, just minus Stewart and or Schultz and put in Josh Morrissey. Right wingers now. Let's check out the right wingers. All right, we really don't have any right wingers. This Brendan Troke guy, he's getting better, but still mid-60s. Weston, lower 70s, high 60s, sorry. So no real right wingers. Left wingers, Alexander Ovechkin, 93 overall still. All right, so we're obviously going into the future with Ovi. Let me see here. Louis Eriksson, he's 86 overall, so that's still good. We got him for another 1 year at 4.25. All right, you expect his salary is going to jump up after that. Jason Chimera, all right, we don't have to sign him. We can, but his contract is up, so that's good. These guys' contracts are all up. These guys are all young rookies, all right? So far it's really only Holtby, the only guy that we can dump if we need salary cap. And the centers... Hang on a sec. That's what I mean. Look at Pavel Datsyuk. He's 36 years old, but because he got first-line time last year, because he had an amazing year, 88 points, yeah, he was a point-a-game player. He had an 88-point season and a 29-point postseason. That's the reason why he hasn't dropped off at all. Look, his potential is a 4-star player, but he's still 93 overall. That's because he had an amazing season, so it counteracts his age, basically, all right? So why not hold on to a 93 overall Pavel Datsyuk, all right? I mean, he's outstanding. I know I could trade him, but my God, why would you want to trade him away? This guy helped us win that Stanley Cup, all right? Backstrom. All right, we know we have Backstrom, Paul Stastny. We got Paul Stastny. We could trade away Stastny if we need to, but he was a solid second-line center during the regular season. We got to re-sign Mike Ribeiro this year. We can't trade him because he's only got 1 year left, but I want to sign Mike Ribeiro. This guy's outstanding as well. Antoine Vermette, be nice to re-sign him, but we don't have to. Zach Hamill, we're going to have to re-sign. He's going to want a little bit. Johansson, all right, Johansson's got to be somebody that we trade away. You guys were saying that Johansson, he's still not getting better. He's still 79 overall. Yeah, I'm going to trade him right now. Even though it's only 1.9 mil, I'm going to trade him away right now because we have him 1.9 mil for another 2 years after this year. I want to dump that while I can. All right, Malhotra, I can dump him to free agency and then all these guys down here. All right. See, no, we really don't have to re-sign anybody this year, except for like the older guys like Ribeiro. But I don't think I need to drop Datsyuk to sign these guys. All right, Ribeiro, we're gonna have 18 million of cap space. We got to re-sign Ribeiro, Vermette. And that's basically it. Ribeiro and Vermette. Yeah, we can hold on to Datsyuk for 1 more year. We can hold on to Datsyuk. And then next year, when we have to re-sign Norbert Klein, that's when we have to dump guys like Datsyuk, Stastny, maybe even Ribeiro. All right. But the question is, who's going to be the young guys coming up to replace these guys? Because we're going to need it. All right. So, might have to make some moves here. Well, no, you know what? We have 2 more free agencies. That's where we get our players from, free agency. We're that kind of team. Yeah, we're that kind of team, all right? We don't really have anyone to trade. Oh, and we used our first-round pick. That's right. We used our first-round pick to Phoenix to get Antoine Vermette. And at the end of the day, he helped us win the Cup, so I'm really not angry about that, all right? So let's just see what the draft is doing here or what's going on in the draft. No trade offers. I don't need any trade offers. All right, let's go down here. I'm just going to simulate the first round. Our second round pick is 30th overall, so let's just see if I can snab up a 3.5-star player if he hasn't been taken just yet. All right, let's just see if we can get somebody in here. I don't think we'll be able to, but maybe? No, the best is like 2-star potential guys, all right? So, horrible draft this year, but them the breaks, all right? We can't be too angry about that. After all, we did win the Stanley Cup, all right? That's why you trade away your draft picks to win that cup. So, we're really going to have to go nuts in free agency this year, trying to sign as many young prospects as we can, because we're actually fairly weak. We have a lot of good defensive prospects, but forward prospects, we really don't have that many. We have like maybe, I think, 2 or 3 3.5-star players, which is decent, but we don't have a single 4-star potential forward and a single 4.5-star potential forward. So that needs to be changed, all right? Don't think I'm going to be able to do it this year, maybe in free agency if there's somebody, but we may have to prepare ourselves for next year's draft to be able to draft a good forward because, again, we don't have any. Look, I'll show you quickly. All right, okay, you know what? I forgot about Max Domi. Fair enough, Max Domi. Oh, I forgot to trade away Marcus Johansson. I'll do it in free agency. That's all right. We'll have enough space. All right, so Max Domi, he is our one forward prospect of the future. I forgot about him. Sorry, Domi. 4-star, 63 overall, pretty decent, but he's still going to take another 3 years to get good enough to play, all right? Johansson, he didn't get good. Huden, he's 4 red stars, all right? And then, look, the rest are 3.5-star. So that's what I mean. We're missing that one stud prospect forward. We have it in Morrissey as our defenseman, all right? Both Morrissey and Gardner are 4.5-star below the age of 25. So we have it defensively and we have it goaltender-wise with Norbert Klein. But forward prospects, all right? So that's just something to know. All right, so we're in we're in the re-sign stage. So let's try to re-sign these players. Shouldn't be a problem. Remember, we did the math already. We don't have to sign any big names. All right, should not be a problem with $13 million. That should be more than enough, all right, so that we can hold on to Holtby and Datsuk for 1 more year. All right, because I still want Holtby as our backup, just in case injuries happen or if Norbert Klein slides a little bit. All right, so Carlson, Johnson, Gardner, Alsner, yep. All right, so Morrissey's going to play for either Stewart or Schultz. I think it's going to be Stewart because I like Schultz. Now, Schultz wants $3 million for 1 year. All right, how much does Stewart want? Stewart wants 2.4. No, I got to keep Schultz. Yeah, screw Stewart. I got to keep Schultz. He's part of it. So, Stewart, release you. Thank you. But he won a Stanley Cup, so he's got to be happy. All right, I'm going to release all these 75 overall players. All right, I can re-sign them again in free agency. I don't want to do it right now because I want to re-bolster our team, and I don't want to put up spots that may be able to be taken by younger players, all right? Bystrom, we got to sign this guy. We'll sign him. You know, we'll keep signing this guy 1 year because he could turn out to be a good player, and I want to sign him long-term if he turns out to be to progress pretty good, basically. If he gets into, like, the mid-70s quickly, then I'll want to sign him long-term. All right, that's it for defensemen. So we have to sign Schultz, so I'll just leave it for now, $3 million. All right, right wingers. Let's see, this pair guy, I'm going to release you. All right, all these guys who are our injury guys, we're going to release. John Weston, we're going to sign this guy. Same thing, 1 year, all right, just in case he does become something good for us. All right, Stevens, we can release you. Yep. All right, that's it for right wingers. Left wingers. Ovi, Eriksson, Chimera. How much does Chimera want? I'd only say like 1.5 maybe. Yeah, 1.5. All right, so we're up to 4.5 now with Schultz and Chimera. Mass, we can release you. Howes, we can release you. Yep. Go down here. Sign these 2 guys are not good enough. All right, so we just have Chimera and Schultz assigned so far. And then centers, we got to get Ribeiro and Vermette. All right, and Zach Hamill. So I want to get these guys signed first. Malhotra, I'm going to release you because you're only 76 overall now. We can find somebody else in free agency. Caput, we're going to release you to free agency. And Teravainen, we're going to sign Teravainen. Let's give him 1 year just like the other guys because he may turn out to be, at best, a second liner. I could see a 3.5-star player turning out to be a second liner for you. Mid-80s, it could happen, all right? So we'll give him 1 year, and then hopefully Max Domi can have a really good progression season. Nordstrom, we'll sign you, same thing, 1 year. All right, there you go, 1 year at 5.65 or 0.565. All right, and now we got to get Paul Stastny, Ribeiro, and Vermette. So how much? The main guy first is Mike Ribeiro. This guy has had 2 great seasons for us. Now he wants a salary increase, which I can understand. I mean, look what he's done for us the last 2 years. 77 points 2 years ago and 74 points last year. Now, he wasn't a playoff guy for us this year. Last year he was, But still, that kind of regular season, we know what we're getting with Mike Ribeiro. And even though he's 35 years old, he hasn't gotten any worse. His offensive awareness is still 92, passing 90, puck control 92, all right? So that second line, Eriksson, Stastny, and Ribeiro will still have an amazing season for us this year, all right? But because he's 35, I only want to offer him 1 year. So I'm obviously going to offer Mike Ribeiro a contract. I need Mike Ribeiro back on our team, so I'm going to offer him 4.4 for 1 year, all right? He's worth it. He definitely gets the contract. He's worth it. Now, Antoine Vermette, how much does this guy want? I could see him wanting, yeah, he wants like 3. 2.75 I could maybe get for Antoine Vermette, all right? So I'll come back to that. Zach Hamill now. Zach Hamill, he wants 3 mil. Now, why is Zach Hamill asking for so much? Oh, that's why. It's that one category, puck skills. Look at that passing category, 94 for passing. So, you know, if you put Zach Hamill on the right lineup with the right players, he could easily have a 40, 50 assist season with 94 passing. He really could, but he doesn't break our top 6 just yet. Now, I don't want to trade him away. I want to sign him because he's not a restricted free agent, right? So I can't do that. That's going to be a hard one. All right, I'll come back to Zach Hamill. I need Vermette and Schultz first. All right, so let's get Schultz. I need Schultz for our team. All right, I'm fine with our defensive core, so we'll give you 1 year at 2.75. Yeah, 2.75. All right. Oh, sorry about that. I had to blow my nose to take a drink. All right, so Schultz we send the offer to. So let's simulate up a day here. Let's see who we have. All right, I want to get this re-sign stage done, get into free agency. It won't take too long, don't worry. I just got to make sure. I should have enough. I just want to make sure I do have enough. I'm not left not being able to sign one of these guys. So Jeff Schultz is back on our team for 1 year, 2.75. Mike Ribeiro we were able to sign for 4.4 for 1 year. Nordstrom, Weston, Bystrom, Teravainen. All right, so we still have $7.5 million left. Goalies are taken care of. Defensemen are completely taken care of. It's just the forwards now, all right? So we have 3 forwards to sign with 7 mil. I think it'll be possible. Yeah, I think we can do it, all right? We're not going to be able to go out into free agency this year, but we have the same team that we had last year, which, again, won us a Stanley Cup. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I always say that. So 2.8 for Antoine Vermette. And I want Zach Hamill back. If anything, I can trade this guy. He's asking for 3 mil for a reason. He wants 3 mil for 3 years. I can't give you that, son. I'll give you a 1 year because I don't know what's going to happen next year with Norbert Klein. So I got 1 year deals. That's it for everybody. And Jason Chimera, 1 year deal as well. All right. At 1.3 mil. All right, perfect. So we will, yeah, there you go. Advance that day. And let's see if we got everyone signed here. We should be able to afford them all. 7.5 should be easy enough. Come on now. Simulate. All right, so Antoine Vermette's back. Chimera, did Chimera rejected a contract? All right. And Zach Hamill rejected. All right, we have 5.4 to sign both these guys. Come on, I need you both. 1 year, Chimera at 1.4. All right, I won't go any farther down than that. All right, and Zach Hamill. Same thing. I got to sign you for cheap, man. I can't give you a 3 year deal. I can't do it. All right, 2.85. All right, so let's simulate up again. Let's see what happens here. Come on, Chimera and Zach Hamill. I need you guys. I need you guys. We got to make a repeat run on the Stanley Cup here. All right, that was an easy decision for Jason Chimera and Zach Hamill. Son of a bitch. I don't know if I want to give Zach Hamill. You know what? I'm going to let Zach Hamill go to free agency, and I'm going to save the 4.7 mil. And if there's nobody else, we'll re-sign him in free agency for a little bit more. But I don't want to sign this guy for 3 years. All right, and I don't want to give him 3.3. We can find maybe 2 really good players at 2.5 each in free agency, or 2.3 or something like that, you know? So I'm going to release Zach Hamill to free agency. A third liner making 3 mil right now for this team. I don't think I can do it. All right. So, yeah, we've taken care of everybody. Perfect. So, let's go into free agency. Let's see who's available, and then you guys can take a look at the free agents that are there. Take a look at the roster that we have right now. I don't think we need any defensemen. In fact, we don't need any defensemen. All right, we already have our top 4, which is outstanding, and Schultz and Morrissey back there as the bottom 6. That's all we need. What we need is 3rd and 4th liners. Remember, we dropped Malhotra. We dropped Zach Hamill. All right, Matt Hendricks retired. So we have a lot of depth that is that is empty right now, basically. Ooh, Patrick Kane. And he only wants 6.6 mil. That's pretty good, but he's out of our pay grade, all right? We don't need another superstar. Remember, Phil Kessel last year? We just don't need another superstar right now, right? Sanguinetti, Talusti, Glaubeff, Justin Williams, Sekarash, Spalling, Zach Hamill. See, that's where Zach Hamill is right now. So forwards, I'll just show you quickly. Zach Hamill is the 5th best forward, all right? So, I mean, I may want to re-sign him. He only wants 3.2, so I could easily re-sign him for the same money, basically. I'll go down here and show you guys all the players that I could sign, all right? So there's all the forwards. We don't need to take a look at the defensemen. I know we don't need defensemen. Bernie Mac is an available goalie, but we don't need any starting goalies. But there is a prospect goalie, 2 prospect goalies, so that might not be a bad idea. And is there any prospect skaters? No prospect skaters, right? So Patrick Kane, I mean, that is a tasty looking contract just because it's 8 years at 6.6. All right, I mean, Patrick Kane, I've seen him ask for a lot more before. So, I mean, that's a tasty contract, but where does he fit in on our team, all right? We'd have to take somebody out like Datsuk, Backstrom, Ovechkin, Ribeiro, Eriksson, or Stastny to put Patrick Kane in. And if we put Patrick Kane in, are we going to be able to re-sign, you know, Ovechkin, Gardner, Johnson, Klein, all these guys? That's another thing. Norbert Klein's contract next year, right? We got to save money. So, I'll leave it to you guys. I mean, an 8-year deal, it's tasty, but I don't know. I think that we're going to be going down the wrong road if we do something like that, all right? So, last but not least, you guys have seen the contracts or the restricted free agents. Let me just show you our starting lineup, basically. So, if we were to start the year with the roster that we have right now, Norbert Klein, Holtby, 1-2. Defenseman, it would be Johnson, Gardner, Carlson, Alsner, Schultz, Morrissey. That's 6, so we don't need a defenseman. Forwards, though, here's where it gets tricky. Datsuk, Ovechkin, Backstrom, first line. Eriksson, Stastny, Ribeiro, second line. Third line, Vermette. We got to trade Johansson still. All right, we can still do that. But Vermette, the third line center, and then who else? Johansson's being traded. Chimera's a 4th liner. Nordstrom's not ready. All right, so we really can only fill up 3 lines. All right, we need 5 players. We need 2 third liners and, 4 players because Chimera can play on the 4th line. So we got Vermette as the 3rd line center. We need 2 wingers. And then Chimera is the 4th line left winger, center and a right winger. So we need 4 depth players. That's why I didn't want to spend 3.3 mil on what's-his-face. All right, so we need 4 players with 4 mil. So you guys saw the rosters. How should we fill out the 3rd and 4th line, all right? Important, because we got to make that Stanley Cup repeat, all right? And we need those depth players. So let me know, boys, and in the next video, we'll get re-sign stage done, and we'll see if we can start year 4, all right? So I'll see you guys next time.